Nine Ether, I see you in the building. Let me go get me something to drink real quick, and then I'll be right back. And I'm going to get started. And shout out to House of Healing LLC as well. I'm live on both platforms. Okay, I brought my whole gallon of Crystal Geyser in here with me. Okay, so I'm not going to be here long at all. And let me lock my boxes real quick too, because I'm not about to open the boxes tonight, because I just want to do a real quick little update from last night. And this is being recorded also on YouTube. So if you guys miss anything, catch it on YouTube, because I'm sure, as you can hear in my voice, I am tired as hell. I've had a very long day. And so last night I basically came back to give an update from last night, because the video is on YouTube, The Unraveling. And so this video on YouTube is called The Cracking. And it's because, last night when I went live, I was really on one. I was like on 10. I was pissed off. I was a little bit, I wasn't doing too much, but I was overreacting. So that's what I came to clarify. And it's funny because, this is going to be the last that I speak about my personal twin flame connection, because the YouTube beasts, have arisen with the cigarettes in hand, following me all over the internet again, being obsessive. And so, because I'm not going to feed the narcs my energy, I'm going to shut it down. And so I will continue to teach about the twin flame journey, but I will not be sharing anything more about my own personal connection. Shout out to the person that just joined in the room on House of Healing LLC, unless that is the hater, that's following me all over the internet. Okay, so basically last night I went live, and I was like, I got rejected. I didn't get chosen. All of this dramatic stuff, which really was not the case. So I just want to clear it up. Okay. So, overnight, as sitting still and realizing what's actually happening. Okay. And let me say this, the twin flame journey is not for the faint of heart at all. And so last night, the conversation that I was talking about on YouTube, and if the people on Bigo don't know what I'm speaking about on YouTube, then you may want to go back to the other video, The Unraveling, and check that out to understand what I'm going to be talking about in this one. So basically last night I went live, and I was like, I got rejected. And the only reason I'm back to clarify it is, like I said, the beasts are over there celebrating because they think I'm over here broke down or something. They think I'm over here, and really I haven't really had time to really sit and be still, but I've been in a meditative state all day, while I've been packing my herbs and packing my orders. And I did have a couple of little emotional meltdowns as I'm processing this energy. But really, I realized that what it was is just really, it's me, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything wrong. Just, it's me. And this is what the twin flame journey looks like. Like your counterpart is going to trigger you. And what they're going to trigger is parts of you that you thought was already healed up. Okay. And it is healed. Okay. So this is, so I hope you guys remember when I was talking about, hypnotic rhythm, and then the difference between hypnotic rhythm, which is going around in circles, and chasing your own tail and not really getting anywhere. But ascension looks like a circle as well, but it's a spiral. So as you're going around the circle, you're also rising, okay, vertically. And so to say that, I'm basically saying that, so when you're during ascension, it's similar to hypnotic rhythm, in the way that you will recognize some of the same patterns repeating itself. But if you're ascending, when the pattern comes back around, it's like a test. And you're going to prove when this pattern comes back around as a test. The way you pass the test is to, it's basically testing to make sure, and for you to be empowered by being able to actually apply the newfound strength that you have, the newfound wisdom and power that you have from the last time that you went through whatever you think that you're about to go through now. So basically, what was happening last night was that I had initiated the conversation that I was talking about, and I was the one who basically baited him into giving me an answer. And when I didn't get the answer that I wanted, then I had a little attitude, okay? Because like I said, I am a little bit spoiled. I ain't even, I don't even be trying to front. Like I'm a little bit spoiled as far as being able to getting what I want, okay? So when I don't get what I want, so what happened when I didn't get what I want, okay? So hence the name of the video, The Cracking. Okay, and relating this to the matryoshka dolls, and which are the dolls, which are several layers of the consciousness. So, and I am going to go live and cam up with these dolls tomorrow so that you guys can really get a visual of it. I'm just tired tonight. But anyway, you can look them up. They're the Russian dolls, or the matryoshka dolls, or the babushka dolls. And I think like the Weebles, there was a toy called the Weebles, and I think that they were made like like the Russian dolls. I think that was like the American version. But so anyway, The Cracking, the name of the video is in regards to what was going on last night. So, the unraveling is, the cracking and the unraveling is basically the same thing. So when you open this first doll, because when you get the dolls, it looks like one big doll, and then you have to open it up, and open it up like an egg, and then it's kind of almost shaped like an egg. And then on the inside, there's another, smaller doll, and you open that one, and there's a smaller and a smaller and a smaller. So the concept was to get down to the very smallest doll, which I have named the builder, which is, the one that is building the reality. And then all of the bigger dolls, the outer layers, are the different layers of consciousness. And they are, built by different experiences that we have had. And they are really the parts of us that a lot of it, these layers need to be shed in the healing journey. And we need to get back down to that smallest doll, which is the one that has the power. And all of these other dolls are the experiences that the builder is having. So coming from the perspective of the first doll and beginning the unraveling of a personality, for the healing journey, it's like, you want to break down each layer, remove the things that no longer serve you, and then rebuild the dolls as a refined model that contains only the ingredients that you want. Like in my smallest doll, so I have these tiny little, they're rose quartz, they're heart-shaped rose quartz stones. and I couldn't fit the little heart inside the smallest doll, but I could fit it in the second one because I wanted to put a heart in it. And so I took the little, the little rose quartz, and I put it inside of the doll because I wanted mine to have a heart. So you can do little creative things like that. I use them in my therapies with my clients, and the visual is amazing, and it works. And so what was happening last night is like that first layer of the doll. So when I did not get what I wanted, I had a little attitude. That was the first layer of the doll, which represented an aspect of my ego. And it was the cracking of that first doll. I had to crack it open to get to that second layer, okay, which is going deeper within the self. And so this is what the twin flame comes, and they help you to do, is they crack you open. Okay. And I mean, they crack you open, wide open, and you know what I'm saying? It's not comfortable, and they trigger you. And so basically, I basically had initiated the conversation. I baited him into giving me an answer, and we didn't give an answer that I did not like. Then I had an attitude. Now I feel like, I think he knows me, and he just plays my game better than I do. Because like I said, he's smarter than me. I'm not gonna say smarter than me, but like wise in a different type of way. So like any sort of little emotional manipulation that I might be unconsciously trying to do, it doesn't work on him. Okay. So that's what I realized. And also that, and the thing is that like he be so calm, like when I'm tripping, I'm trying to turn up or trying to like initiate a conversation where I can get some questions answered, and not in a narcissistic sort of way. So don't imagine that. But like, I may be turned up emotionally, and he will not engage with me in that. So he just stays real calm, and laid back, and just be like, so you're just gonna keep saying the same thing. You're just gonna and so while I'm trying to be turned up, it's like it just kind of gets diffused, and I end up laughing because it's really not that serious. And that's what I have to realize. Being an empath, we're deep with the emotions, and really at the end of the day, nothing is happening. You know what I'm saying? So he don't engage in me with my emotions. He not on that when I'm tripping. He just be like, calm down, and he just say calm until I calm down. And so what happened though? So this is not what happened last night. Like I still have not talked to him, but this is why I'm proud of myself, right? Because I figured it out, because he had already told me that this was going to happen. And, he told me that this was going to happen. He was like, I may, in 3D. When he first came back and told me about everything that was happening in 5D, he told me, like in 3D, the illusion, he told me what my issues were going to be in 3D. And it's right here, it's happening, right? But now that I'm in it, it's like I had to remember, like in hindsight, because when you're in it, it's like you're emotional, you're turned up, and it's like, quit playing in my energy. That's what it felt like. But it wasn't that. It was really a residual program, okay, that was being unraveled. Because the residual program is one where, I talked about it the other night. Like I used to have a recurring dream of watching the TV, okay, as a child. And when all the commercials would come on, I was able to reach into the TV and get whatever I wanted out of there. So if it was McDonald's, I could get the cheeseburger or whatever, the Happy Meal. I could get the ice cream cones, whatever came on, Coca-Colas, toys that I wanted, whatever I saw in the TV, I was able to reach in and get it and bring it into my world. Now, for me, this translates as, manifestation. Anything that I see that I want, that I like, I can get. Okay. And I know this. And so this is what my spirit was telling me. Cookie, I see you in the building. Appreciate you, love, for stopping by. So, and shout out to the people in my House of Healing LLC room as well. So this dream, this was a recurring dream. And I feel like, this was a dream from the Most High, from my spirit guide, my highest self, telling me you have the power to manifest whatever you want. But at the same time, I feel like this dream was hijacked, because when I would have the dream, I was happy in the dream because I could get whatever I wanted out of the TV. But then I would always wake up like before I could even enjoy any of the stuff. Okay. And I feel like the part of the dream where, I felt like me being woken, me being woke up and waking up like every time before I could enjoy the stuff. That part I feel like came from the most low. Okay. Now, if anyone has thoughts on it that may be different than that, but this is what I have figured out. Okay. That part came from the most low because it was like, because the Most High is showing me that you can manifest whatever you want. The most low, he can't take away he could not take away my ability to manifest. It's always been there. But what he could do was try to hijack it by putting this program in there to where when I did manifest the things that I wanted, it would appear that they slipped away or they disappeared, like when in my dream, because I would have all the stuff sitting right there next to me. And because the thing with what I would be doing was I would get everything. I would be getting everything that I wanted, but I would never eat it or do anything. I was trying to get it all piled up before I would even start enjoying it. And I would always wake up before I could get to it. And I would wake up in this state of frustration. And so that part, I feel like the most low put that in there as a program, maybe through watching the TV, maybe through some sort of subliminal TV programs or whatever. I don't know, but it's connected. So I would wake up in that state of frustration. This is a program. This is how hypnotic rhythm works. So having this as a recurring dream, I recognize this to be a program. Okay, because recurring is hypnotic rhythm. Okay, it is just a repetition. It's a cycle. And so it was a recurring dream that left me in a state of frustration to where I could manifest what I wanted, but I couldn't hold on to it. Okay. And so this really began to be a pattern that was in my life. Okay. In a lot of people's lives. And I want you guys to trace it back to maybe a recurring dream that maybe you had, or some sort of program, some kind of way. This is a program that has been implanted in a lot of people's minds. Urban Alchemist, peace, love, life, and healing, love. Good to see you. So I recognize this as a program because of the repetition of it, the recurring dream, the hypnotic rhythm of it all. Okay. And so I was like, I don't know. I was just sitting, I was getting a download. I was meditating and I was getting the download and realizing like that was a program, because what was happening was it was unraveling. I had unraveled it out of myself. Okay. I had done Reiki. I was doing Reiki on myself and I felt it. Like it was a program that I could literally feel unraveling from like the right frontal lobe of my brain. I felt it coming out. It was an energy that had been put there, but it was a program. Okay. But it was a tangible energy that I could feel. And what was happening was I was remembering that I would always have that dream in it, because as it's unraveling, because now I'm doing this with some of my clients, as it was unraveling, it comes up as a memory. The energy, as it's passing back through to be released, it comes back up as that memory. And it came up as that memory of that dream. And I knew how that program of, I can manifest whatever I want, but it seems to slip through my hands. Okay. Up until the last 3 years, up until when I got rid of the narc. Okay. So basically, when I felt it unraveling, I understood that was a program. It was the cracking of that first matryoshka doll to get to the second layer, a deeper level of my awareness of self, my deeper level of my consciousness. Because like I said, that smallest doll represents your inner G, your inner God or goddess. It is the most deep. Okay. And so it would be equivalent to the Most High that you see in the mirror of the universe when you look into the sky. Okay. But in reality, it is the most deep, because it's your innermost self. It is that indwelling spirit that is the builder of your reality. So excuse my voice, you guys, because I am tired. I've been up all day. It's been a long day. And like I said, I've been going through all types of unnecessary emotions. I'm not going to say it's unnecessary, but I just came back to say that, I was tripping a little bit last night. I really was. For several reasons. I wasn't getting my way. And so, the little part of me that is a little bit spoiled, had a little attitude. And so it got cracked open, which, I'm grateful for, because it was a layer of my ego, a small ego death, which I was recognizing as it was happening. I'm like, this is an ego death because I've suffered ego deaths before. And so, I just thought that I was done. And, that's why the cracking, when you feel like, yeah, I'm good, but really, there was a little bit of a residual energy there that still needed to be released. And that's what I realized and remembered about the whole purpose of the twin flame to begin with. It's not always this beautiful, fairy tale love story. Sometimes it's really painful. They trigger you. And sometimes you don't come into a physical union in 3D. Okay. Sometimes you do, but, sometimes you don't. It's understanding the purpose of it, because again, the focus should always be on the self, whether you're in union with the twin flame or not. And they are to trigger you into your purpose and trigger you into healing completely. So you think that you're completely healed, but when you meet your twin, then they're going to introduce you to some of the deeper regions of your mind and of your consciousness, that these are your shadows. This is shadow work. And so, you weren't conscious of it. So of course you thought you were done. So the cracking is them, cracking open. It's like you put a Band-Aid over the wound and you thought it was healed, and he kind of ripped that Band-Aid off. And so that layer of your consciousness that had imagined herself to be completely healed, had to, acknowledge the fact that I'm not. There are deeper levels that, I need to look at. And so that the cracking of that outer layer was what was going on last night. So I just wanted to clarify for the beasts on YouTube who was about to celebrate because they thought that I was, that I was out of there. Okay, once again. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to clarify that, no, because what I realized, and especially today, the more that I've been thinking about it, because for one, I did not do anything that like I would have done it the last time. So speaking of like hypnotic rhythm versus ascension, they're both a circle, but one of the circles is rising vertically and one of them is flat on the ground. Okay. So the hypnotic rhythm circle is a track on the ground. It is not rising. So it's going to be a repetitive cycle of the same thing. The ascension circle is a spiral. So it is a circle, but it's unraveling. And so it's being, it's rising up as you're going around. So this was some residual energy. It was of a pattern that I had unraveled out of myself. The pattern was, again, that recurring dream of being able to manifest something, exactly what I want, and then not being able to hold on to it. So having it for, just a fleeting moment. So that was what the pattern that was trying to be worked out when it came to my connection. Okay. And it was me. Like I sat there and I thought about everything, the whole conversation. And I was the one who brought it up. Now, like I said, I do legitimately feel that I did have a little bit of a reason to be a little bit hurt. Okay. But it was not that deep. It was not that deep. And, I wasn't being over dramatic. Okay. So basically, I baited him into giving me, the answer to a question, and he didn't give me the answer that I wanted. And I had a little attitude. And so I felt like, that part of me that had an attitude, the part that was triggered was that program, because that program says you can't have what you want. What you want is rejecting you. What you want does not want you, basically. This has been a program that has happened in all of my relationships, all of my deep ones, the ones that where you allow the fear to come along with it, like as soon as you realize you love a person, the fear is right there too. Like, oh my God, I think I might lose them, that insecure, type of codependent type of love. Yeah. So, so that old school, it was trying to repeat itself, but that's not what's happening here. Like, because that's not who I am. Like, so that outer layer, that was the cracking of that old self that I was still holding on to, a little residual piece of that old self. So I had to let that go. And that's what was happening last night that you guys were witnessing on the video entitled The Unraveling, was the cracking of that first layer of the doll. And I'm sitting here looking at them right now, and I have that layer opened. And so I am looking at the second layer. Okay. Cause this is a visual to what we are doing spiritually. And so, It's amazing because I really went through all of this emotional, all this mental, all of this mental drama, and really for no reason. But this is what the twin flame journey looks like. It's a journey of healing. And so you're going to be triggered into some of those old wounds that you had before you had, acquired self-love. And it's a test to see if you love yourself. So, I'm like, okay, in my mind, I was imagining, because he didn't give me the answer that I wanted. That's the only reason why I felt like, why that layer of my ego felt like I was being rejected, because he wasn't saying exactly what I wanted him to say. And, I was just trying to control things, basically. And he knew it. And that's why I think he gave me the answer that he gave, because now that I've been sitting here thinking about it, it's like, it's like an unconscious emotional manipulation that I didn't even realize that I do when I don't get my way, right? And it's like he made me very acutely aware of it by not playing into it, but just staying calm and not even having any reaction to me having a little tantrum. Okay. And so it made me really look at myself like, well, he didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? Every time that I get triggered, I realize, I mean, I'm not going to say that. I did have a little bit of a reason. Okay. But it wasn't about nothing. Like I made a molehill into a mountain. It wasn't about nothing. It's like your fears and those residual little energies, you can't bring those into the higher realm. So that was trying to take it and make it into something that it wasn't. Because during the whole conversation that I had yesterday, I ended it because I didn't get my way, and I was feeling like, I got rejected. He didn't choose me. Now, none of that was ever said, and nothing like that was said during the conversation. Okay. I mean, and even this is the reason why I wasn't as broke down and so broke down yesterday, because deep down, the only thing that matters in the twin flame journey and in anything in life really is the truth of it, and the truth of it is the love that's there. Okay. So the whole time while I'm sitting here talking about I'm getting rejected, and that I didn't get chosen and all that, that just really was not the truth. I mean, at the end of the day, I have been chosen. And even during that same conversation where I'm talking about I got rejected, we said we love each other. And so he never said he didn't love me. So what am I tripping about? You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping about things in the illusion. And he had already told me that, don't be tripping about the illusion, because you're gonna be tripping. Like when he came back, you know what I'm saying, and told me about it. So in order to understand everything that I'm talking about, you guys would have to go back a few videos and understand what I'm saying, like how my twin flame actually woke me up in 3D, because he woke up in 5D first and woke me up. You know what I'm saying? So now the journey starts, and the only reason I'm sharing it is because I know that other people are going through this and are on this journey, and it's not, like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's everybody. Not everyone is going through it. So and not everyone has a twin flame, and not everyone is going through this. So for the people who are, this is why, the readers come out and we read and do all of this to help people, because it's extremely difficult. It's emotionally triggering. It can be overwhelming. Even the love aspect of it can be overwhelming. And so, the whole, what was I saying? So the whole twin flame journey is about healing. And what was happening was that first layer getting cracked, me having a tantrum about it, a little ego death going, and me blowing it up and seeing things that wasn't there. Like I wasn't being rejected. Being rejected is somebody telling you that they don't love you. You know what I'm saying? After they did, or after you thought they did, or whatever. That didn't happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I sat there and I was thinking about it, and basically started to, dissolve all of this residual energy that really that doesn't have any basis, in the truth. And so, it just kind of, it wasn't even unraveling anymore. It's kind of dissolving like smoke. And then, what was still there though was the love. Okay. And and then I remembered, like, well, he did say he loved me. So what am I tripping about? Right. And that's the part that he had told me to not forget but I did forget. And you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter. What matters is that I remembered. Right. because I'm sitting here and I'm chilling. Like I still, because I haven't talked to him since I made that video last night, but I calmed myself down because it's like I told myself, you know, it's like I was going through my own mental things. I may have been the one who, you know, I did feel a shift in the energy, and that really did happen. And so it was the way that I interpreted the shift in the energy. And then, you know, some of the things that he told me just made me look at myself like I'm the one that's doing all of this. And I really, it's a pattern. And the pattern got, you know, it got unraveled. It's been dissolved. And I'm grateful for this. Like, this is amazing because, you know, I'm glad I shared it with you guys too, because I know some of you guys go through this. And I want you to understand that, you know, this journey, for those of you who are on it, especially if you're newly on it, it is a dance of energies where you will be coming together, okay, in beautiful and perfect ways, and then separating and coming together, okay, and separating again and coming back together again. That's what this journey looks like. Okay, so if you're new on it, then you know there's thousands of videos about twin flame separation and the twin flame journey altogether, the stages of the journey. If you're dealing with, you know, things such as, you know, an age gap, the difference in, you know, in races or whatever may be your challenge, because every twin flame connection has a grand illusion that you're both being challenged to see through. You're being challenged to love through the illusion, because, you know, it's a game. And so when he woke up in 5D, he basically woke me up in 3D. Like literally woke up from a dream and was like, you know, woke me up that morning and told me all this amazing, like magical stuff that he dreamt about. And I was like, he didn't even know about the twin flame journey. You know what I'm saying? And so he, you know, he doesn't know about he's not on here doing all of this stuff on social media. So he was telling me about the experience in the dream, and I knew that meant, and I had already been thinking it, okay, that we were twin flames. And so, you know, I was like, oh my God, like, how are you the one who woke up and, you know, all of this? So I was amazed. And, you know, so I talked about it that night, and we, you know, we have been having an amazing time. But again, this, I feel like this was our first little separation. Like, that's what it is. It's a dance of energies, like the in and out of, you know, intercourse. Okay, but this is spiritual intercourse, okay, where you are merging into one another's torus field and in and out and in and out. So, you know, we had been merged for quite a while, and it was delicious, okay. And so the separation, like when I felt that shift of energy, I'm like, oh my God, you know, I was panicked. I went into that old residual energy, like I can't feel the energy. That old pattern tried to pop back up, and it had to be unraveled. So that's what was happening in that video, and I'm glad that I shared it. So that was a layer that has been shed that will not be returning, because I clearly recognized the pattern and I was able to successfully dissolve it. So that's one layer. Okay, the cracking of that first layer has been removed, and I'm enjoying doing this as a visual, even though I haven't shown you guys what I'm seeing here with the dolls. You know, what I'm, the fact that I'm sitting here looking at it, and how I'm going to teach you guys with it. I think it's going to be amazing. Because it's therapeutic even for me to look at it, you know, the cracking of that first layer and just seeing those two pieces like laying to the side, like that no longer exists. Like that weak part of me, that codependent, the insecure part of me, she no longer exists. Okay. And so she's been cracked open, and this more secure, because I just been over here chilling. Like, I'm the divine feminine. What am I tripping about? Like, I have no doubt. Like, I am absolutely certain that this man loves me. I have been certain the whole time. Like, even if he never had said it, his actions say it. It's that kind of love. Like, this is a God-sized Ace of Pentacles gift, okay, of love. And so what am I tripping about? And that's why every time I start tripping, he just be chill, like, quit tripping, calm down. Like, what is you talking about? Like, because he's so calm, because he is the one who knows about, he was the one who actually saw everything in 5D and told me, oops, I just kicked my bottle of water, told me that some people are still sleeping on both sides, and told me a whole bunch of amazing things, which I will talk about further, but I'm not going to talk anymore after this video about my connection, because like I said, I feel the YouTube beasts and the vultures coming out, wanting to eat off of my energy, and we will not be feeding the narcs, okay? And so I will share a little bit more on Patreon, and if anything gets leaked from my Patreon, then that will be the end of it, okay? But I'm not going to be sharing any more on YouTube, so splash splash, okay, for the beasts who wanted a drink of my water. There you go. Okay, that's all that you're going to be getting. But I wanted to stop by to clarify this for everyone, because I did get a few text messages and stuff for people that were worried about me, because these are people who saw me go through what I went through with the narcissist, and they saw how that had completely broken me at that time. And I know that people that care about me, they were concerned that I probably was getting ready to go through something like that again. And I even that outer part of me that had gotten cracked was concerned that I was getting ready to go through something like that again, because that part of me doesn't exist that's going to create something like that again. And that's the amazing part, that it got cracked open, it got dissolved, it has been removed. Okay, and so it's a beautiful process, it's a painful process, and if you have like gotten through parts of your path, it's very helpful if you can, to turn around and help the other people who are coming down the path, because remember how you felt, and how heart-wrenching, and how the longing and all of the things that no one but other people on this journey are going to understand. And so if you can be a helping hand to the other people on this path that are coming behind you, by all means, please do so. Okay, the divine will be most pleased with you. So I don't want to stay too long, because it has been a long day. I've been through all the full spectrum of human emotions. I'm proud of myself at the end of the day, and I know that my twin flame is proud of me too. And again, he told me that I could talk about this, and I've talked as much as I'm going to talk, even though he said I could, because he knows, he was like, I want you to keep teaching about teaching and opening, freeing people's minds from this matrix. And so that's the only reason why I'm being so open and teaching about it now. But that's the last I'm doing. With or without his permission, I'm not talking about it anymore, because I know that there's spiritual warfare that's going, and I know that there's a lot of narcs out here that are starving, okay, for some light. And so we're going to have to shut it down at this point. So I do hope that, what I have shared has been helpful. And if anyone wants to talk to me personally, or get a reading on where you are in your journey or whatever, definitely hit me up, houseofhealing.com. But as far as me talking about my own personal connection, it's a wrap for that, okay? Because like I said, the beasts have woken up, and I smell the cigarette smoke, and so it's time to move around. Queen Sheen, I see you in the building. So peace, love, life, healing, and abundance to my House of Healing LLC family, and to everybody that's in my room on Bigo Live. So at the end of the day, all that mattered was love. I'm sitting here, I'm the divine feminine. Like, what was I thinking? Let me straighten my crown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know this man loves me without a doubt. If there's no, because he didn't leave any doubt. Like, it's absolute certainty. And he even told me that this was going to happen, and I just forgot. So so I've been sitting here all day remembering and putting stuff together, and I'm at peace with whatever is going to happen, because at the end of the day, I don't care about the 3D illusion. And this was the test that he was telling me that I was going to have to pass. And I think I passed in it, because I know I passed it, because I see through the illusion. Like, I don't care about the illusion, because I know the truth, and the truth has set me free, okay, from that first layer of the Matryoshka dolls. Okay, so the cracking is a good thing. Okay, it's the beginning of the shedding of layers of um, spiritual gravity. Okay, because the more layers that we shed, the lighter that we will be, and the smaller that we will be, like Alice in Wonderland. Okay, when she ate the little pill or whatever, and was able to defy gravity, and got small enough to go through certain dimensional doors to end up in another reality. Okay. And so these doors represent the duat, okay, which is the underworld that we would see that the pharaohs would pass through as they were mummified and they were sent into the duat, which is the netherworld or the underworld, where they are going through a regeneration process and they come out on the other end as a new being. So sort of like a cocoon for the butterfly as we are going through our spiritual transformation. Keisha Keish, peace, love, and light, babe. I see you in the building. So I'm getting ready to go, you guys. I didn't want to be on here too long. It's been about 40 minutes. I have had a long day. I do need to get some rest. So shout out to my twin flame because this is a game and I'm figuring it out. And I appreciate you for being just so patient with me and being my teacher. And, we got this because he already told me, what my higher self had to say to myself. And so I already know how this all goes down. And so I'm at peace with everything. And I hope that you guys are also at peace with where you are on your journey. So again, if you need, some advice or, a shoulder or an ear on your journey, because I know how hard it can be. And not just for the twin flames, but if you're dealing with narcissism, if you're dealing with grief, any issues that you may have on your spiritual journey, definitely hit me up at houseofhealing.com. And so I hope that, again, this helps. It will be the last that I will be speaking about my own personal connection. We clinking it, shutting it down, clink, clink. Okay. But I wanted the people who care about me to know that I am perfectly fine sitting over here in my divine femininity. Okay, feeling loved, appreciated, seen, heard, respected, and all that good stuff. Okay. And it's a beautiful thing because the illusion is very much still in place, but not for me. My eyes have those rose colored glasses. The tint has been removed and now I see clearly. And what I see clearly is a truth that is so beautiful, that is so bright, that is nothing at the end of the day. I am certain that this man loves me, and nothing, no matter what, I don't care who don't like it, okay, even if he don't like it, okay, nothing can change that. Nothing can break what has already been done. And so it is. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Why am I sitting here trying to touch my computer screen? I am really sleepy. Good night, you guys.